Good morning. This is Michelle. Let's make it happen today with episode number 5, New Thoughts Daily Practice. Welcome to the I Cut the Mustard show, where a plant-based diet and small, simple moves make healthy change happen. And where we believe that you already have what it takes to slice through any barrier that stands in your way. Shing! You're sharp enough. You cut the mustard. Woohoo! Ready for another podcast today? Last week, we dove into the belief bubble and why it is that we are stuck, what's keeping us from moving forward in our life. And I just want to expand on that and give you another tool to move forward. So if you didn't listen to that podcast, go ahead, go back, listen to the belief bubble podcast and episode, and then you can come back a little bit more focused on this episode. But either way, this is going to be useful and not too confusing. So whichever you want to do. What we're going to dive into today is new thoughts on a daily practice. But before I do that, I want to kind of share the backstory to how this idea came about. As you know, I struggle with overeating. I've struggled with it for a long time. And the past few years, I've been pretty good. I've given up sugar. I listen to my body. I eat mostly good foods, and I usually don't have a problem with it. But every once in a while, something just really throws me for a loop, and I get in a little bit of a slump, maybe for a few days or a few weeks. And by this, I start overeating again. And I just want to give you a picture of what this looks like because, everybody kind of overeats in a different way. But for me, I still mostly don't have anything bad in my house. So it looks like eating a bunch of raisins or making like oatmeal power balls before bed every night. I mean, it's pretty risque, but every once in a while I go out and I have a cupcake. It's pretty intense stuff here. But even though it doesn't really look like a lot's going on, I know in my brain that I'm not honoring myself and I'm not loving myself and I'm treating myself in a way that's not in alignment with who I am and who I want to be. So for me, that's the big deal. It's how I'm feeling, right? But I try to stay positive during these times whenever I have a little bit of a backslide because I know that there's just something else that I need to learn. And I usually come out of it on the other side with new insights and tools that are just what I need for me and my clients. So this is a great practice for you as well. Whenever you're backsliding, just say, what's awesome about this? And know that something amazing is going to come out of the other side. And I'm really grateful for these times because it helps me remember what it's like to overeat and how hopeless that feels and what a struggle that is. And it helps me reconnect with my clients. So not to say that I love just having a couple moments of overeating because I don't, and I want to be 100% clear of those. But for now, I'm okay with my point on the journey, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that it has to help me create new tools for myself and my clients. Back to where I was maybe for about 2 weeks, just kind of back and forth, feeling a little better, feeling a little worse. I had several insights and ahas about what was going on. I was journaling. I tried to use the model, like I said, maybe from last week where I bumped into the bubble and I said, man, what's going on? So I tried to sit down and journal and look at all of that and work through it. I even talked to a bunch of coaches. I got some great ideas. I started taking action, right? Trying all these different actions. I was coloring, I was drawing my emotions, and that was helping a little bit. I got some insights from there. But like we talked about last week, the golden ticket is really imagining that new place and starting to move from that place. So here's a great example of how that can just rocket you to a new location. But I was in church. I was sitting in church listening to the speaker, and they were not talking about gratitude at all. But, you're in a good place. You're thinking good thoughts. So I had this idea that instead of continuing to work through this model and trying to figure out what was wrong with me, I wanted to shift my focus and start focusing on the good things, the positive things. And I decided to journal for 20 minutes and to find some gratitude. So last night, or the night before last, I journaled for 20 minutes and it totally changed my life. Let me tell you, for days I was struggling, for weeks I was struggling, and I do this one 20-minute exercise and I felt so amazing. So what I did was I sat down and I started to ask myself, I picked a topic, which was my body because I was struggling with overeating. I picked a topic called my body and I wrote that at the top. And then for 20 minutes or so, I just wrote down all of the things that I love about my body. It was from the big stuff to the little stuff. Like I have a heart that beats every day. That's pretty big. That's pretty amazing. I've got lungs. I've got legs. They can run. They can move. I can bend and move without injury or pain and all of that kind of thing. I was just thinking of that. I love my nose. I love my crooked teeth, which I know is kind of weird. I love my eyes. I think they're gorgeous. I'm pretty happy with my hair right now. So I was just going through and thinking of all the things. I can walk to the mailbox, which I know sounds silly, but when I was pregnant with my third child, I seriously could not walk to the mailbox for a few months. So I'm always grateful for that, right? So big things, little things, funny things. I just wrote them all down to 2 pages of things that I'm grateful for my body. And when I was done, I was so amazed, honestly, at my huge list. And I immediately felt like, man, I'm so sad I ate that granola bowl because I know it's going to leave me feeling like trash in the morning and I really want to get up and go run now. I want to get stronger. I want to get back into running. I think I'm going to go sign up for a Spartan, which is where you run and you do all these obstacles that require lots of strength, right? So I was so filled with gratitude for my body and for all the amazing things that it does that I wanted to make it stronger. I immediately had feelings that were helping me move towards a positive action. They were moving me towards action. It was pretty cool. So that's the power of imagining things. And I also was reflecting on there's really only 3 or 4 things that I don't care for about my body. I have skin issues, or I have had really bad acne in the past. I have some scarring on my face, which I'm a little bit self-conscious about. And there's like a little extra fat around my belly than I want. There's just a couple little things that I don't love about my body. But do you know what I focus on when I go past the mirror? A lot of times it's those 3 things. And looking at that list of those 100 things that I just brainstormed that I love about my body, there's only 3 things that I don't love. I mean, I could throw those out the window because my body is amazing in so many other ways. So I hope you can see how this exercise is awesome. So here's the exercise for you, if you didn't get it out of my example there. So here's how to do it. What I want you to do is grab a journal or a piece of paper. Journals are great because then you can do it every day for days, right? Grab a journal. Then you can pick a topic and write that at the top. Maybe this entire week, if you're struggling with body issues or weight loss, your body is a great place to start. So you stick your body at the top, and then you'll spend 15 minutes asking yourself, what do I love about my body? Or what is awesome about my body? Or whatever topic it is that you've chosen. So you spend 15 minutes just brainstorming those 2 questions. And I like these questions better than what am I grateful for? Because what am I grateful for is actually kind of hard to answer. It's kind of saying, what am I already feeling gratitude for, which you're not feeling gratitude for. So it's kind of hard to generate ideas. I find that if you ask yourself these 2 questions, you can generate ideas a lot more easily. So again, the 2 questions are, what do I love about X? and what is awesome about X. So it could be your spouse, it could be your job if you're struggling with that, it could be your in-laws, your children, whatever it is that you need some gratitude towards. Just write that down and brainstorm. And maybe the first time you do it, you're not going to come up with very many things. But if you commit to do this for a week, each time you'll get more creative and you'll start feeling that compassion and that gratitude for that thing. And I believe immediately after that, you'll start to feel the pull for action in a positive direction. So, number 1, you're picking a topic, writing at the top. Number 2, you're spending 15 minutes, put a timer on if you want, and asking, what do I love about this? What's awesome about this? And then number 3, you'll just spend 5 minutes in what I call an imagine session. Things that you want to come in your life after you're filled with gratitude towards your whatever it is, that topic that you chose. It's going to be really easy to imagine what you want and believe that you can get it and want it from a place of abundance, which is really important. So that's the last 5 minutes, is just have a little imagine session about what you want, and you can imagine what you might want to do to get there and make some goals from that positive, amazing position. Okay, that's my little trick for you today. Go ahead and do it. I totally encourage you to do it for 7 days straight, maybe on the same topic. If it's a tricky topic like your body, I would definitely do it for 7 days straight on your body if that is an issue at all, which for like 95% of us it is. So start there, or start with something that's really bothering you. Do it for 7 days. I'm going to attach a little handout here that with the little questions and the 3 steps, and I'll also include a huge list of topics for you if you are just wanting to keep this practice going. I really encourage you to keep this and create this as a daily practice for yourself, because it's going to launch you into your goals. It's going to launch you to becoming that version of yourself that you really, really want. And just like we talked about last week, because it's that imagining, it's that tool for imagining where you are that in that new bubble. Okay. So I'll give you those handouts below. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next week for another fabulous time, perhaps in the car at 6 a.m. If you want to make some real change happen, sign up for a free 15-minute Make Your Move call today. It's a one-on-one sales-free call with me where we look at your goals and find which small move will make it happen for you. Go to icutthemustard.com/makeyourmove to sign up for the call today.